Oh my gosh, I feel so vulnerable right now. Hey guys, it's me, Lonnie Tsunami. I know what you're thinking. I look nothing like I usually do, but that's about to change because I have a special video for you guys today. As you may or may not know, today is the last day of Pride Month. About a year ago, I started my drag journey as Lonnie. I started dabbling in makeup, and let me tell you, we've come a long way in a year. So yeah, I pretty much just wanted to kind of give you guys a updated makeup tutorial. Disclaimer, in no way do I think of myself as a professional makeup artist or a makeup guru. I'm kind of the you're not supposed to do this, but this is why I do kind of person. So yeah, I just wanted to show you how I went from this to this. Real quick, before we begin, I just wanted to shout out my LGBTQ community brothers and sisters. I really want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, not only for showing support and watching this video and accepting me, but also for inspiring me and a new generation of others to go after your dreams no matter what they are, live your life unapologetically, and yeah, for helping open doors for people and becoming successful. But before I start crying and this gets too sentimental, let's just go ahead and start this makeup video. So my first step is going to be washing my face and shaving, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows. So I have to confess something. I shave my eyebrows off for drag. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Why are you doing that? You have like great eyebrows. These are actually fake, like, oh my gosh. So I really only have like this much is like my real eyebrow, and then the rest is just kind of drawn on. I'm not gonna show you guys my real eyebrows. I'm just gonna go do my drag eyebrows off camera, and I will be right back. You won't see my real eyebrows because they're work in progress. Oh my god. So we are looking a lot crazier right now. Bear with me. Trust, as they say, trust the process, trust the process. So for brows, I just use a ABH pomade. Beauty guru status. It's all dirty. I'm not gonna do that. So I draw kind of like a bitch brow just because it gives you more room for eyeshadow, and once we have like the whole eye shape and everything, it looks less bitchy. So yeah, because I am what? Woman. I like to start with eyes just because it's easier to clean up, and you won't have to worry about any fallout or anything. I'm gonna go in with my concealer. I'm just gonna put 2 little dots there, and then underneath my eye. And then I'm just gonna clean up the bottom of my eyebrows and then use this as a base for my eyeshadow. So the goal is to look like a crazy raccoon. I'm using a really light concealer just because I really want a good color payoff because I am a person of color. So now I'm gonna take a white liner and go right underneath half of my brow just because I really want my brow bone to be popping. Cool. So now I'm gonna start with eyeshadow. I'm gonna use the Bretman Rock Jungle Rock palette from Wet n Wild. Mostly because it has all the colors I have or that I want to do. The color payoff is actually really cute with this one, especially from a Wet n Wild palette. I'm gonna do one eye that's warm colors, and then the other eye is gonna be, what is it, cool tone colors from the rainbow. I think the only thing I'm gonna change up this time is I'm gonna add more of like the eye shapes I draw on afterwards, and yeah, so we're just gonna dig right in. And what I do is I usually just do the outside corner and then draw my shape following my brow bone. And there you have it, your completed look. Just kidding. Alright, so now I'm just gonna take a makeup wipe and I'm just going to So now I'm just gonna take a makeup wipe and I'm just gonna clean up underneath my eye, and then just go up the side so that way it kind of cuts my shadow and leaves a very clean line. There we go. So next I'm gonna kind of cut the crease, but not really. We're just gonna emphasize the eye shape because right now it just looks like you have shadow on it's not really doing anything. Drag makeup, you really want to change the shape of your face so that way it's more feminine. So I'm gonna try to open up my eyes by cutting the crease. So to do that, I'm just taking my same concealer that I use underneath my brows and all over my lid, and I'm just gonna go in here in the corner. I kind of do it at an angle so that way it gives me almost like a lift to my eye shape. And then I follow kind of how I want my lid. So now that I have that, I only do about half of it so that way I can emphasize the inside of my eye, and then I'm gonna draw some stuff underneath it. But this is pretty much to help open my eye and make it pop more as far as my shadows. And now I'm gonna go in with glitter. So now with a tiny brush, I'm gonna go in with my glitter, and I'm gonna pretty much put that in the inner corner of my eye and drag it along the line because I kind of messed up a little bit. So it looks really dope in person, but from my camera it kind of looks like you can't see anything at all. So that's what Facetune is for. Just Facetune some shit on your face. So now that eyeliner is on, we're pretty much done with our eyes other than adding lashes. We can start on the rest of the face and pull this fantasy together. So now I'm gonna start with color correcting. So for color correcting, I'm using Dragon Beauty, the Dragonfire Skin Perfecting Potion, and I'm gonna use that to color correct my beard and mustache. Alright, so now that we look like we just ate an Oompa Loompa ass, I'm gonna go in and set this so that way it doesn't move. It already kind of sets itself, but just for extra security, I like to double set everything. So I'm just gonna set this with a little translucent powder, just kind of everywhere that I put the orange, nothing crazy. So now we're gonna go in with our foundation. So my skin is very combination. It's oily around my T-zone and then dry around like my cheeks. So I like to use a liquid foundation, and I set mostly like my T-zone with powder, and then around my cheeks I kind of leave alone. So to highlight my face, I use the e.l.f. Camel Concealer. I love this because it's very full coverage. It lasts a long time, and plus it's like inexpensive. You can get this at CVS. So now we're just gonna blend this in. So you really want to highlight the inner part of your face because you want to make it look smaller and more feminine. Now we're gonna start contour. I am just going with a stick foundation, and I am just kind of patting where I want it to go, and then we're gonna blend it out so that way it's seamless.
Ensure seamlessness.
Seamlessness. Seamlessness. I do two little lines down my nose, and then for my jawline, I kind of just do two little dots on the corners to kind of round out my chin, and then I do two lines going down to help slim my jaw, and then just a little pity pat on the bottom because you don't want it to look like you have a beard. And we're just gonna go back with our beauty blender and balance it out. The thing I like about drag makeup is that everybody has different styles. So you can go as ham or as unham as you like. I consider my drag to be more, I guess, hyper feminine. So I really want to sell the fantasy that I am a woman and I'm gonna take your man. So little story, the first time I ever performed in drag, it was for a competition at one of our local bars here in San Antonio. I just remember going in there, I had like the cutest dress and the highest heels and everything and the least amount of makeup. So according to some of the other girls I competed with, they thought I was an actual girl. But looking back at the pictures, I am pretty sure they lied to me, so fuck you guys. Just kidding. I will say, if you ever go out and perform in drag, be sure to exaggerate your makeup. You can see everything under that spotlight. So now I'm gonna set and bake all the highlighted parts on my face. I am using Fenty Beauty for my setting powder. I love this stuff because it smells like cupcakes, honestly. It's like vanilla and it's just, it works so well. It's so smooth and everything, and it's perfect. Alright, so now that it looks like you're into hardcore illegal drugs, we're gonna go in. I don't really set my contour, I set it with a powder contour, just because, again, my cheeks tend to be more dry than the rest of my makeup and I don't necessarily worry about it. We're gonna go into the Dragon Beauty face palette. I love this palette so much only because it has, you know, your contours, your blush, and your highlight. This is something I use like on the daily, even for my like everyday, just like look like I'm human makeup. It just has everything. I like multi-purpose palettes because you get your money's worth. So I do pretty much the four corners of the face and the cheekbones. And then with a smaller brush, I'm just gonna go in and do my nose contour. I just kind of do the shadow on it so it just looks like I naturally have that nose, but I blend it a lot. I'm gonna go in with a cream foundation and just lightly go down my nose. You can do this with white. I just like to use like more of a peach so it looks like my highlight. And then what I do is I set it with a white powder just to give it pop. And I do more of, I guess, a cone shape or a triangle shape just because my nose is very wide at the bottom. Then I'm also gonna take the white eyeshadow and just go around the perimeter of my regular shadow. This helps your colors pop more on your face and not blend into your foundation. Cool. So now we're done baking, we're gonna go in with my third Dragon Beauty product, which is the Dragon Heart Transformation Base Powder, which are these kind of like brightening pressed powders. I love this because you really do look like your Facetune. So I still have like my baking powder on. I'm just gonna sweep that away using I use a combination of the pink and yellow just because I want the highlight of the yellow and I want it to look like flesh from the pink. There. Period. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna set all this with my setting spray. Okay, so I set that and now we're gonna go in and finish the brows. I like to do a black shadow and finish out my brows just to give them more dimension and to help my brow bone pop. Okay, so now my brows are a little bit more even than they were. And hey, when it comes to brows, sisters are sisters. When it comes to brows are sisters, not twins. Or at the very least, with these brows, they look like somewhat co-workers that never knew each other, but oh well. So we're nearing the end here. I'm just gonna go ahead and put on my lashes and then we're gonna go on to lips. I use these like basic ass Amazon lashes. I should stack mine, but because my eyes are very little, I kind of like to not stack them. I'm more about the shape of the lashes looking good rather than I am the fullness, because I just feel like if you have mascara, you're good. Alright, so now that we have lashes on, last step is to put on blush and lips, and that's pretty much it as far as the makeup goes. So for blush, I use this little blush palette that I think I got from like Target. I like to mix the middle two shades and then the last shade for kind of like a highlight effect. So the reason I really like using this palette is because the bronzy blush. Ooh, wow, I can't talk. So the reason I really like using this palette is because the bronze blush kind of goes with my contour, whereas the Blossom is more of like an actual blush, and then I use Popular. I kind of go between Popular and Bashful because they're more like almost highlighters, and in my sense when I mix all of that, it becomes like a really cool like transition shade from contour to highlight. So now last thing I'm gonna do is put on my lips, and then I'm gonna go and put on my wig and costume. Alright, so this is the finished look. I feel like a pride goddess right now. I've got my butterflies in my hair. I'm really feeling the Mariah Carey fantasy of it all. So real quick before I wrap up this video, I kind of want to give a quick shout out to those of you who are in the LGBTQ community or maybe going through things where you're questioning your sexuality. I just want to say you are definitely not alone. You have a whole community of people who love you and accept you and are ready to embrace you with open arms, not only this month but any time of the year. So come out whenever you feel comfortable, but just know that once you do, there's like a whole world of new opportunities and things. You don't have to hide behind any kind of fake persona or do things that you don't want to. Life is short and you should always live it to your fullest potential and do whatever you want to do. And so yeah, if you guys like this tutorial, be sure to give me a big thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, comment down below if there's anything else you'd like to see. Follow me on my social medias. I make TikToks and Instagram posts, everything like that under the sun. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So bye guys, happy Pride.